Hello, and welcome to the Lines That Never Were series, where we talk about proposed but forgotten New York City subway projects. In this video, we will talk about the IND Hillside Avenue extension, including its history, remnants, and whether the IND Hillside Avenue extension is needed today. In 1922, Mayor John Hyland unveiled his plans for the Independent Subway System, or IND. Interestingly, the IND Queens Boulevard line was not part of the original plan, as John Hyland focused massively on his plans in Manhattan and Brooklyn by proposing 15 new lines and extensions. But the Transit Commission flagged the proposal as outlandish, so none of the plans got any air. After all, Hyland was not the best ally in City Hall, as he publicly attacked the Transit Commission and stalled the BMT Nassau Street Loop and the BMT Canarsie Line projects. In 1924, Hyland again tried to propose the IND, and this time he had a few allies. State Senator and future New York City Mayor James Walker proposed and passed new legislation that would decrease the power of the Transit Commission and establish a new Board of Transportation, which was under Hyland's control. Therefore, Hyland was able to repropose the IND, and this time, the Board of Transportation proposed the IND Queens Boulevard line. It would start as branches of the IND 8th and 6th Avenue lines and would be joined by the IND Crosstown line at Queens Plaza. After Van Wyck Boulevard, the IND Queens Boulevard line would turn and run under Hillside Avenue to 169th Street. This four-track line was to parallel the LIRR main line, portions of the IRT Flushing line, as well as give Jamaica riders a faster alternative to Midtown than the BMT Jamaica line. The first phase of the IND Queens Boulevard line opened in 1933, from 50th Street and Manhattan to Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue, while the second phase opened to Union Turnpike in 1936. Finally, in 1937, the third phase was opened to 169th Street, starting the Hillside Avenue portion of the IND Queens Boulevard line. Originally, the third phase was supposed to be extended to 178th Street, but the Secretary of the Board of Transportation, William Jerome Daley, said that a station there would prohibit express service past the Forest Hills. Therefore, due to these plans, the terminal of the IND Queens Boulevard line was a typical local station with 4 tracks, which to say, the terminal was extremely inefficient. This was a problem as the IND Queens Boulevard line saw high ridership and further became a problem in 1940 when the IND 6th Avenue line opened, adding another service to the IND Queens Boulevard line. A temporary solution was made that all express trains would terminate at Parsons Boulevard and all local trains would terminate at 169th Street. But planners wanted more. In 1939, when the IND second system was proposed, planners tried solving this problem by proposing the IND Hillside Avenue extension. This line would first extend to 178th Street, with an express station and a yard there so that local trains can turn around. Then the line would further extend to Springfield Boulevard, with stops at 187th Street, 197th Street, Cross Island Boulevard, 214th Street, and Springfield Boulevard. This would have been revolutionary to the neighborhoods like Queens Village, Oakland Gardens, Fresh Meadows, Hollis, and Jamaica Estates, as those neighborhoods would have direct express service to Midtown. But the IND would have gone even further than just Springfield Boulevard. as there are plans to extend the line to Little Neck Parkway near Nassau County. All in all, that was nearly a 5-mile extension from 169th Street. In 1941, the US entered World War II, and with it, all public works projects were put on hold. After the war, the terminus at 169th Street was proving extremely inefficient. The IND Queens Boulevard's ridership was booming, but 169th Street cannot handle all of those riders. Therefore, in 1946, the city approved the construction of a more efficient terminal at 179th Street, complete with island platforms in a yard. Construction began in 1947, and the station opened 3 years later in 1950. Upon its opening, the 179th Street station became extremely busy, as riders wishing to go further south and east would get off here and transfer onto buses. Development in Jamaica spiked, and by the end of the decade, this station was the busiest in Queens. So you would think that planners would want to extend the line further east, right? Unfortunately, due to Robert Moses' influence on city politics and how money was diverted for highway spending in the 1950s, no plans to extend the IND Hillside Avenue line ever advanced. In fact, the 179th Street station was the last station the city ever financed until 2007, when the construction of the 34th Street Hudson Yard station began. The end for the IND Hillside Avenue extension came with the Program for Action. In 1968, to better serve southeastern Queens, the BMT Jamaica L was to be diverted onto a new subway under Archer Avenue to as far as 190th Street, paralleling Hillside Avenue. A second train line, branching off of the IND Queens Boulevard line, would go under or take over the LIRR Atlantic branch. But in 1975, the fiscal crisis hit, causing all of these plans to be scaled back to Parsons Boulevard. And in 1988, the IND Archer Avenue subway opened. This helped decrease crowding at 179th Street and Parsons Boulevard, which at the time were some of the most crowded stations in Queens. And that seems to be the final end for any discussion about the F going to Springfield Boulevard. The IND Hillside Avenue extension, like the many other extensions we covered, doesn't have many remnants. But there still are remnants if you know where to look. At 179th Street, you will see tracks going out of the station even though 179th Street is the last stop. What are those? Well, these tracks are part of a small underground yard for F trains and help F trains turn around. Consisting of 2 levels, the yard can turn around 63 trains per hour, making it the most efficient terminal in the New York City subway system. However, the yard also serves as a provision for the Hillside Avenue extension, as there are tail tracks that run under Hillside Avenue until 184th Street. Of course, the Q43, the bus route that runs exclusively on Hillside Avenue, sees 13,000 riders a day before 2020. But the Q43 is not the only bus route that runs on Hillside Avenue. The Q1 and Q36 cover a decent portion of Hillside Avenue and see 4,000 and 6,000 riders respectively. That pushes the total to 23,000 riders daily, which already makes Hillside Avenue an extremely well-used bus corridor. Combined with new developments happening in the vicinity of Hillside Avenue, the IND Hillside Avenue extension should be reconsidered. I think that a 2-phase extension would work the best. The first phase to Springfield Boulevard would provide immediate benefits, while the second phase could be added when developments further east are finished. The first phase to Springfield Boulevard would be around 2.5 miles. Stations would be placed at 188th Street, Francis Lewis Boulevard, and Springfield Boulevard, though a case could be made for a station at 212th Street. This would connect the numerous post-war developments while also bringing a subway connection and transit deserts. Moreover, this extension should be done relatively soon, because as new developments are being built in the vicinity of the new route, existing transit options would be strained. The Q43 is not enough. A new extension of the F would address those transit needs. The second phase further east would involve two options. The first option is to continue on Hillside Avenue to Little Neck Parkway. Stations would be at Winchester Boulevard, 241st Street, and Little Neck Parkway. However, there are not many developments in this alignment, as it is suburban development. So a subway extension here would be much harder to justify. The second option is to extend the line via Braddock Avenue and Jamaica Avenue. There are more dense apartments and developments, so a subway there would be more economical. Stations would be placed at Winchester Boulevard, 222nd Street, 241st Street, 251st Street, Little Neck Parkway, and Floral Park for a better connection to the LIRR Floral Park station. Although this would be more expensive as it consists of more stations and more tracks, and the added bureaucracy of entering Nassau County, we prefer this option, as it hits up a lot of dense apartments and job centers. The IND Hillside Avenue extension should be considered in the near future. Right now, Queens suffers from the longest commute times in the nation, and extending the F further east would help address those transit deserts. By building it in a two-phase design, the extension can help deliver immediate benefits to existing developments while coinciding with the opening of developments further east. Anyway, that marks the end of this video. What are your thoughts on the IND Hillside Avenue extension? Let us know in the comments below, and have a good day.